Doctor Who, the Zygon Inversion, the second half to the Zygon Invasion, and wow, I said that I hope that this episode elevated the previous one, and it certainly did. Now, I do want to clarify here, I didn't hate the previous episode. Some people in the comments seem to think I didn't like the previous episode. I actually really enjoyed it. I just didn't think it was above the average Doctor Who episode. And realize when I say average Doctor Who episode, that's not me slamming the episode. That's me calling it a fantastic hour of television, just like the average Doctor Who episode. My opinion of it probably would have been a little bit higher than that had I not seen some of the twists coming, but I really did enjoy the episode. It was very, very good. And I'm glad that the second half of the episode carried the story in the direction that I wanted it to go. I was really hoping that there would be a peaceful resolution to this, and there is. And that's as much as I'm going to spoil it. I'm going to try to spoil this episode as little as possible, because just like The Woman Who Lived, I really feel like this is an episode that every Doctor Who fan should see. In fact, The Woman Who Lived and The Girl Who Died make kind of a loose two-parter, and I definitely think that the best individual episode of the season so far is The Woman Who Lived. But if you're going to see any two-parter from this season, both parts, back-to-back, so far, out of the ones we've gotten, see this one. This is the best two-parter we've gotten this season so far, by a pretty wide margin. Just like the previous episode, it ties into the Day of the Doctor, but it stops undoing what was done in that episode and carries on and fixes it and makes it stronger. And it's great. And while there was a character reveal twist in this episode as well that I also saw coming, it was less I felt that it was obvious and more that I just didn't really see how the characters would get out of the situation if it weren't the case, which probably shouldn't be more acceptable to me, but it is more acceptable to me. So I give that one a pass. That was fine. And the ending of this episode, it was so beautiful. You have the leaders of the two sides, the leader of the Zygon Rebels and Kate Stewart in the same room, and they have the power to annihilate each other. And the Doctor has to talk them down from it, giving this grand speech about his personal experiences. And it was so well written. It was so moving. It was just a beautiful, beautiful climax to this episode. And it was because of his conviction, because of his emotions, his strength of character, and the way he conveyed that to the people in the room that allowed the episode to have this really strong resolution that it does. It was a beautiful episode. And I can't say anything more about it. I don't want to spoil anything about this episode for you guys. And I've already kind of spoiled more than I originally intended to anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the review here. I know it's super short, but I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. This episode gets my absolute highest recommendation. You have to see it as a Doctor Who fan. It's just a great episode. I wouldn't say it's perfect. I very rarely say that anything is perfect. But it is an amazing episode. It's amongst the best episodes of the series. But guys, what did you think of this episode? If you have seen it, let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.